Alright, good morning. So right now we are just trying to see if we can catch an ancient Cyclops spawn. I killed what I understand to be the PH, a wandering Derv, in this area. So we have the timer, we know when it's going to pop. We're right over in the area that Allah suggests it should spawn at nighttime. And we seem to be relatively uncontested. There's some mage or something over there that could run up and KS us, I suppose, but if he pops, we might have a good shot at it. I also found out earlier today that I'm more than enough to kill sand giants now, so we've knocked out a few of those. We still haven't gotten any sand of row, but if we get some, we can begin working on the Silent Watch shield quest, which will be pretty cool. We have about 6 minutes on our spawn here. Just a little less. So yeah, if we get the Sand of Row from one of the giants out here, basically all we have to do is run around a little bit and kill Tyrannoslil and Highkeep to wrap up the quest line for the Silent Watch shield, which is, I want to say 10 AC, 9 Wisdom. And it can go into your secondary or back slot. We'd probably use it as a back slot item personally. Alright, we are less than 5 minutes away. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun if we can get it. So I've already killed 3 sand giants and I haven't gotten any sands of row. I don't know how rare it is, but it's not a good sign. We did get some killage plans. Fifth one's the charm, we'll see. They're not super common. Like, going through North Row and South Row most of the morning, I've only seen those 3, and one of them was the named one, the low-level named one. But yeah, I gave it a shot on one randomly because I saw him in North Row, level 35, and I was like, you know, I'll root him and pull him to the zone line, just in case. That way I can bail out. I figured I wouldn't have much of a shot at it. But then it was a pretty even fight. Whenever I needed to, I could easily root him back up and bind wound and heal and stuff. And sure enough, we were able to kill him. And they dropped like, the first one I killed dropped like 60 plat. It was crazy. We also have 3 rubies ready for some more Linuga attempts today. There's so many things I want to do, and they're all best done kind of like right now. So this Desert Madman over here could be a PH. I hope it's not. It's technically like 3 minutes early, but I know TLP servers can be faster than you expect sometimes. Oh, this is a monk, desert madman. Hey Knots, yeah, we're giving a shot on the AC right now. He is due in about 2 minutes. I see some Redcon folks over here, so even if he spawns, chances are he will not be ours to kill. What's going on, Hidokiru? Alright, we should have about 1 minute here. Yeah, so it's a 24-minute and some change respawn timer. The only mobs that can be on the PH cycle are a pathing Derv, which is really rare. He passes right around here. It's an orc all the time. A desert madman, kind of common, so I just kill every desert madman I find in the south just to be sure. And a like any sand giants could also be it. Oh, and a mummy, but the mummy only spawns at night. It's not like a crypt mummy or anything like that. It's just, quote, a mummy. I'm glad to hear that, Hito. So he's due basically right now, anytime now. I don't know if AC is flagged as a rare mob. That's on normal servers. I think TLP is 24. If you look at the ALA section on the South Row AC, they go over it. Basically, TLP servers have a global increased respawn rate. What's going on, dude? Alright, we're officially over time, and there is a desert madman right there, so that could be our PH. Ooh, if he's not flagged as rare, that means we should just do this another time when rares are not increased. Pretty sure he would spawn like right around here if he was gonna pop. And it's so weird, like I don't even know if we have enough time for another respawn tonight. Like that might have been the sole attempt that we get. So Tyrannoslil is a necromancer in high keep. I think we could kill her. She's only level 31. We're 8 levels higher than her now, so I should have just like a pretty strong chance of just resisting most of her more dangerous spells. She'll still land taps and that kind of stuff, but the odds of getting a full duration fear or something is super low. They're just going to kind of loop around and check for any kind of sand giants before we bounce. By the way, let me know if there's any audio issues or even differences, really, because I've repositioned my mic. Hey, good morning, Gypsy. How's it going, dude? Sand giants seem kind of rare. Yeah, luckily I wasn't even really playing during primetime hours. I logged in just a little bit to wrap up level 38, and I could see from the zoning times that I wasn't trying to leave Lower Guck at that particular time. It was pretty bad. What's up, Cedric? Yeah, it's funny, Gypsy, when no, Gypsy, there's not, but what we want is to do the Silent Watch shield quest, which requires Sands of Row, but no other, like, enchanted crap. But it's funny, Gypsy, last night you were hitting me up about the fish thing, and you're like, yeah, they break even, and I was like, am I crazy? Like, I swear that every time we do this, the guy who runs the fish squad has to make multiple characters. So, I was like, why do we have to keep making more characters when we do this? And then you're like, oh yeah, they don't all drop. And I was like, oh, that's what it was. Like, sometimes you get really lucky. You get a really good streak going, you'll get like 10 fish. You won't miss one. Sometimes the first one you hit is like a 350 swing, rod set knife spawn. And sometimes you get like 2 in a row with no fish, and your character's just deleted basically right away. What's going on, Hashpipe? We are camping the AC, working on some sand giants, so we're probably about to abandon this pursuit and go back to Lower Guck. Morning, Viral. Morning. You know that one, there's like one named mob who paths around the perimeter of the pond? I'm pretty sure I've gotten aggro from him before. But eventually you'll hit a faction point where you just can't turn the item in anymore if you miss a fish or two. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back. Dang, that's a lot of EXP, Gypsy. Viral, there was like a weird gap in like the upper teens where it was kind of hard. The upper teens, like mid-20s, because like we just didn't have any good undead capabilities at the time. Like the top of the teens was hard because you still had to deal with the damage cap, so you couldn't hit for much more than like 30 damage. And they nerfed the first tier of pally nukes for undead, so I can only nuke for 12 damage all the way until level 30, which sucked. Liverflap, I'm glad you liked it so much. Sorry that I didn't give you a ton of good lore during that. By the time you were asking for some of the lore, like the Achenon gnome lore, my brain was baked. Hey Mr. Jones, it's going. We haven't seen an AC yet, but we've definitely killed the pH, the correct pH cycle a few times. Honestly, like I'm kind of just hoping for sand giants now because I want to get some sands of row. Hey, good morning, Chase. So the pH cycle for the ancient Cyclops here is, quote, a mummy, a desert madman, a dervish cutthroat, and a sand giant, and they all path in that area right there. The respawn time on TLP servers is 24 minutes and some change, and he can only spawn at night like Pizgin, so it makes him pretty dang rare. He's got a 10% raw spawn chance, and then that 10% can only be possible during the nighttime. Wait, did they remove the Bane damage? Dude, I told you they were gonna do that. Someone thought, so like they posted all the information about it and they were like, oh yeah, we'll look into that. And people were thinking that they were gonna make it like better, that they were gonna put the tier 2 in, but did they just take the Bane damage off the weapon? I saw that they're opening up the that's so dumb, dude. It's a change that only hurts the player base. Doesn't make sense. Like, they're intentionally making the game worse to emulate a more classic experience that was a mistake. Yeah, I saw the transfer thing. That's the big highlight. Like, if they want to get rid of overpowered things, don't get rid of the Null Slayer. Get rid of extended target window. Get rid of my skill caps being like 40 points too high. Right, exactly. That's super stupid. And you know what's funny? It's like the only zone that people could actually use the Null Slayer in at the level where you would have to be to get it is also the least popular zone in the game. So they're just reducing the odds that people will already use an underused zone. Such a dumb change, man. I really think that change kind of emphasizes the disconnect between the development team and like the player base. And it makes me wonder if there's even a clear vision for what they want. Like, when they make some things more classic and other things less classic at the same time, which direction are we going? I need like a firm direction, and I'm cool with it. But I don't see a firm direction. I see them moving in both directions all the time. Like, we're adding instance content, and then we're nerfing things to be more classic, and then we're adding extended target, and we're increasing skill caps, and we're giving people innate AA abilities. Gypsy, you need the sand to turn the fish into the princess. The sand and the 3 fairy things. The part he's talking about is like you can skip all the pre-quests, like the kobold, which is actually pretty rare, and part of the like the High Keep Casino kind of quest. I kind of wonder if I can hail Tyrion through the door as well, without even having to unlock his door. So we got 6 minutes until daylight. Maybe 9 minutes? Does 7 a.m. start it? Mr. Jones, only Scarlum can, as far as I know. I've never seen any other fire giant drop it, and I've killed like 1,000,000 fire giants. I think that sounds like rumors to me. I mean, you never know. It's EQ, right? There could be like this rare 0.5% chance. Okay, so the last PH would have died at about 9:50. It has been 17 minutes since then. We would still need 7 more minutes. I don't think we have time for it. There will not be another PH spawn before daytime. Morning, Keeps. Yeah, I bet that's what it was, Mr. Jones. My handy dandy map says sand giants up here, but I think that might be like an out of area like sand giant camp that will not be in place here. Yeah, I don't see anything. The only place I've really seen sand giants in this zone is like just out here kind of in the field. I have a 1080 Ti Gypsy. So AOC's on test server. There are AOCs on test server, right? So you could do any kind of instance you want. Are you talking about just taking a bunch of shrouds in there and killing the old content? I mean, it'd be fun. When that other server, Miracle, opened up, me and some buddies went and we shrouded down and killed Nagavin and Vox and Finny because you needed to kill those to open the hole, even though, like, the hole and Plane of Hate and Plane of Fear were not open on the server, even though it opened with House of Thule, because no one had killed the dragons and Finny and it was flagged as a progression server. We're getting there, Maze. One day at a time. Next level will be our last big jump, I think. At 40 we get like that innate AA bonus. Then at 46 we get our undead nuke. Alright, we're done wasting time looking for sand giants. I don't know if I get triple attack. I would guess I don't. Dude, honestly, like, part of me is not surprised, but I'm just stunned at how silly it is to nerf the Null Slayer. Truly amazed that that was like a decision that was actually made. What's going on, Athlon Hour? Seriously. Yeah, looking for Linuga. Trying to get a hammer and IV hoop. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff, Chase. I feel like I very rarely see it though. Yeah, I don't think she's up right now. I'm not gonna bother farming right now to spawn her. We'll just mess with it later. No keeps. That's the worst part. It's so stupid because the sword is underpowered. Like, let's talk about the Null Slayer nerf, right? There used to be 2 phases of the Null Slayer on TLP servers. You could get the really good Null Slayer, and still nobody did it, right? So they eventually nerfed it so that the second quest wasn't in. Okay, now Null Slayer is a bad weapon that is okay when you use it against Nulls, but you've got to kill a level 23 Shadow Knight to get it, which means that you're never using the Null Slayer on Nulls except in PA in the pre-revamped version. That's the only time you ever use it. No one goes to PA because, well, 1, the items aren't incredible, the Zem is not incredible, the mob density is alright, but there's a lot of healers, and it is extremely dangerous. So you take an item that is only used in one of the least populated zones in EQ, and you nerf it so it's useless. It's already a weak item, now it's totally a waste to bother with, making both a whole quest line worthless, making a weapon useless, and making an underpopulated zone more likely to be further depopulated. It's only a harmful change. Purely harmful. Mr. Jones, I'm not doing the Armor of Roe. We're doing the sand is just for the it's for the Silent Watch Shield quest. Yeah, but dude, like if you, so I would be on board with the change if Darkpot was very stringent on aiming for classic changes, but they're not, dude. They're always adding non-classic stuff to TLP servers. Like, tell me that a few Bane damage on the Null Slayer, which should have been there from the beginning but just wasn't on originally, is too much. But extended target, innate AA, origin, all of these things are totally legit. Like, where is the internal reasoning there? Is Fire Sprite familiar back in the game? Or like the 4-hour levitation illusion? Still no fix for Dragon line of sighting. You can still turn Nagafin and Vox into bags of loot that just wait for you to kill them. But Null Slayer, unacceptable. Yes, Gypsy, it would have been very useful, not only for a Ranger SSF, but just for a Ranger. Like in PA, it's a great weapon. I just dislike seeing them make things that are already bad worse, which, the game is already so min-maxy, and now you've got a situation where like one of the maybe sort of viable alternate gear paths is made non-viable. I think it's just super lame. And then one of the few zones that isn't Unrest or Guck, where people might actually go to EXP, is now less likely to see traffic. It's not in the spirit of EQ. Right, yeah, Zem needs to emphasize, like, the age of Zem being used to emphasize zones which were more dangerous is past, because on TLP servers, and even really honestly in 2020, with 21 years of experience in this, no zone is dangerous in Classic EQ. No zone is dangerous. So Zem should not be about zone danger. It should be an incentive to encourage players to explore lesser used zones. Yeah, like Pa, Kazakh Thule, they should have awesome Zems. Why is there a spider there? Ideally, we'll find an assassin supplier camp open. I'd like to continue trying to farm the supplier. Yeah, it'd be cool if Zems were dynamic and they changed around based on like zone population. Every time a pick zone spawns, it reduces the Zem by 5%. Unrest getting you like negative EXP. It's my guy, the Savant over here. I actually don't even want to kill this one because he's got the mace. I wouldn't use it. I mean, I think there should be other factors to Zems and stuff. That's true. They said they you know, they don't publish a list because they want to preserve the mystery of it and stuff. But it only took me a couple days to map out all the classic ones. It'd be cool if there was like a more dynamic nature to them, so that just figuring them out after a couple mob kills in each zone wouldn't be enough. Yeah, rotating Zem would be dope. I assume that as a developer, going back and tweaking old content is not where the passion lies, you know what I mean? These guys probably want to do new content. Like, they're probably hyped up about making new expansions, not about catering to the TLP player base that plays the same content for 21 years. What's going on, Pope? How's it going, dude? Hopefully I'm not, like, cramping your style over here too much. I'm not sure if you're moving towards a certain camp or something. Just let me know, I can get out of your way. And I don't blame the developers for that, right? Like, I think pretty much anybody would rather work on like new stuff rather than old stuff. What's going on, Zero Fac? Yeah, it is. I agree, Keeps. Yeah, I saw that, Minion. I don't know, boys, maybe we should do it. What do you think? That's what I think they should do. They should just go full alternate timeline mode and try to make content which is kind of like within the spirit of original EQ and redo everything from Lucklin onward. The problem is it would just be like half-baked. Everyone loves like different little bits and stuff. Like I personally love Luckland, I love AA, but I know a lot of people who don't. Hey Rocker, and thank you so much for the follow, dude. Okay, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. We're good. Yeah, I love Luckland and Gates of Discord. Man, I'm not a big fan of Velius anymore. It feels cool being in Velius. All the zones are amazing to be in. But man, that 10th NTOV raid, it's just not a lot of fun there, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, MOTM is really bad in Velius. TOV especially. Like Kale, it doesn't feel bad. This guy's a lot of health. Ghoulbane coming in with the clutch nuke right there. Yeah, just like use the Alcabor client. Hobart was saying on Sean's stream that they have all the Alcabor stuff still, and it came up like, hey, we could do this, and they decided that the player base would not actually like it. I like to think that the player base would actually like an Alcabor server, but it's hard to make that case to the devs when they like slow down the EXP rate a little bit and everyone cries on the forums about it. Like the player base makes it really look like they want this to be as easy as possible. God, Maze, you're gonna embarrass me on stream with this slash played. Ready for it, bro? 11 days, 8 hours, and 52 minutes. And we're not even level 40. Yeah, Tyler, you're probably 100% right. They're not, I don't think they're really, you know what, actually, we don't have to think about it, dude. Look at Miracle. Someone thought that Miracle was gonna be a profitable venture. Yeah, what's up, Nico44? Someone thought Miracle was going to be a good idea. That tells you that they are not in touch with the player base and what the player base wants. So where are they at when they say that, hey, the player base wouldn't want the Alcabor actual stats? You know what I mean? Thanks for the follow, Nico. So Alamorakek, there is no EXP bonus or penalty for any race class combo. So like Halflings don't get a bonus, Warriors don't get a bonus, Shadow Knights and Trolls don't get a negative. It's all flat curve. But you know, like you can see why they would be hesitant about it, I guess. If they truly believe it's not what the players would actually want, regardless of whether or not they're in touch with the player base to make that assessment, I'm sure there is some kind of cost that they have to incur to stand up these servers and develop them, and they would see it as probably like a waste. Now, I don't know why they thought Miracle would be like a success, but hopefully they learned something there. The problem is I worry that what they're learning is that if they do anything that isn't a Finnegal clone, it's going to fail. And maybe what they're learning with Rizlona and Aerodune is that the tighter they are on boxing, the better. Because even though Rizlona is not a failed server, I mean, look at the server differences, right? Look at the number of humans probably playing on each server in comparison. I assume that what they took from this is that, wow, Aerodune is super popular. It would have been probably more profitable to us to just make 2 Aerodunes and no Rizlonas. And then we wouldn't hear about all this crying on the forums about servers being too jam-packed, when really it's just Aerodune that's too jam-packed. Now they're going to let people switch for free. Hopefully that helps it a little bit. I think a lot of people will choose Rizlona over Aerodune when it's a situation of like, would you rather play with boxers or would you rather just basically not be able to play during prime time? I need to get my begging skill higher so that I can beg EQ. One-hand sword for Pally other than Ghoulbane. There's the Deep 6 Cutlass Goro, which is a pretty good one. There is the Polished Granite Tomahawk, which will go a pretty decent ways. There's the Shining Star of Light, not really great, it's a one-hand blunt. But I'd say the most doable is Deep 6 Cutlass. Oh god, what is this? Did someone pull past me? Someone had to have pulled this past me, right? Root and IVU. Hey, thanks for the follow, People de Sleepo. You know, I wonder if like the quote toxicity is just the population. You know, if like 1 in every 100 players is a scumbag and you've got 5,000 players on a server, you're gonna, you know, have a higher chance of meeting people you don't want to interact with. Of course, the whole RMT market thing is probably strictly an Aerodune phenomenon. Like if you can box whatever you want, like you can on Rizlona, then there's not a huge incentive to buy items from other players, so the RMT market's going to be bad, which is what we knew. We knew that all the RMT type players would go to Aerodune because they could sell to people who are soloing or 2-boxing, and they could lock down camps a little bit easier. P99 green? No, green would be different. It might be faster at this point. Green is a lot of fun though. The only difference between green and blue right now is that blue has finished the timeline and green is still in classic. Everything on green is fresh, there's less plat, the economy's not blown up and all that. Green definitely has a much different feel. Definitely could have gotten it solo if I had finished lulling. What a jerk. Kind of close over here. Pope, I want to grind, but my goal would be to be able to get a supplier camp. I don't care about any of the other mobs in the camp, I just want to be able to do the supplier to try to get the belt. Alright, it's time to dip. When that guy runs past, he's going to aggro all the mobs where Sooth has worn off. As soon as we see Root has worn off that skeleton, it's NASCAR time. There we go. Hey, Beetle Man, thank you so much for the raid, dude. Hey folks, so if you are just tuning in for the first time, I am Zaide and I am doing a 1 through 50 Pally solo run. This is SSF, Permadeath. SSF stands for Solo Self-Found. So that means I only take gear that I have, I only use gear that I have quested myself, crafted myself, or come from mobs that I have soloed on my own. I don't accept ports or buffs from other players. By the way, chat, for everyone viewing, feel free to check out Bitoman's channel. Give him a follow. So right now we just had a close call. We aggroed 2 mobs. We weren't really ready to fight 2. So we had to root 1 and then IVU and bail out.
You're listening to Radio Cutman.
Favorite actress, Emma Stone. Hey, thanks for the follow, Beat. Hash, I don't think that he's really talking about people. He's just saying that he doesn't like green. It's okay to have a difference of opinion, guys. I like green. Some people don't. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's different, but it's kind of nice. This is like a slower pace, you know, the push to 50, you're kind of always going. It was even hard to like focus too much on chat during the push to 50, especially since I was like pulling and kind of directing the group. Yeah, Bit, we just wanted something a little bit more challenging, you know, to get the heart rate pumping. This past weekend, we stopped the SSF run and we switched to a mage for one day. We did a 1 through 50 untwinked, like fresh group in 23 hours and 48 minutes. Kind of like to emulate how you would race to 50 if a server just came out for the most part. Yeah, so BMC, check this out. The way the tick works is that there's a client-side tick and a server-side tick. The client-side tick is a guesstimate that your client makes to try to give you like semi-accurate information updates. The server-side tick comes, and if there's a discrepancy between the server-side tick and the client-side tick, the server-side tick says, hey, update your status to my status. This is the true status. And that's why you see it that way. Mine might be more stable because I just zoned, so I just had an opportunity to sync with the server. But the longer you're in a zone messing around, the more you're doing, the more opportunity you have for them to get out of sync. But that's why you'll see that thing where like your mana goes up, you stand up, your mana goes down. What's going on, Liak? How's it going, dude? If any of you guys are crazy enough to watch it, we do have the entire 24-hour stream up on YouTube now on my channel, so you could check that out if you're interested in seeing exactly what and how we do things. With some minor exceptions, it's almost exactly what we would do for like a race to server first 50 on a server launch. Yeah, we're 39 now. We tried to do the Ancient Cyclops a little bit, didn't get any luck, but we did kill 3 Sand Giants, Liak. No sand, though. I still need some sand of road to do the Silent Watch Shield questline. Hey, good morning, Owen. Yeah, honestly, dude, that's like the reason that we wanted to showcase it. Because every time you do this run to 50, you know, I've had a few servers where I was fortunate enough to be the first person to 50 or in the first full group to 50. And people always say, hey man, you must have cheated, you must be warping around, or you must have some kind of crazy exploit. But the truth is, it's just planning, it's just coordination. It's the same kind of grinding that everyone else does. The thing is, like, our group is rehearsed a lot and we're all friends. And we've practiced and prepared. So it's like, just imagine that Imagine the best group you were ever in, the best EXP group you ever found, right? You were with like that dream team. Everything was flowing. There was almost no downtime. Everyone knew what to do. They played their roles correctly the whole time. No one messed up. That's what the static group was like the entire time. And that's why it works out so well. There's not really a huge number of tricks. It's just min-maxing your prep, not sleeping, and playing to the best of your ability for as long as you can. Dang, Mr. Jones, that's terrible luck. How many hours do you have camping that now? What's going on? August McKenzie? Are you August, like the month, or August? We gotta be like 10 kills away from not being KOS, dude. I cannot wait. You know, do people actually like the camera that much? We're getting jumped. Look at that, Goldbane coming in the clutch. Aw, sweet, we got 6 kills before we're not KOS. I don't know, I feel like with a name like Hashpipe, like, you gotta be about it, right? Yeah, I know, BMC is crazy. We could have a faction window that tells you exactly how much faction we have. But a Null Slayer with some Bane damage Null on it, unacceptable, not classic. Or how about the fact that Summon Corpse hasn't worked for like 3 servers now, and they never fixed it? You guys don't want to hear me rant about the Null Slayer again. It's like my hot topic for the day. Absolutely. That's the big thing, like, the people who play EQ really love the game. And they've proven that they are willing to put up with a lot. I think emulated EQ servers are like the long-term future of EQ. Eventually, you know, it's either going to go to another company or it's going to get dropped entirely. But the emulated scene is kind of polished enough that I see a long-term future in Everquest emulation. Mr. Jones saying that is like that meme where there's like people offering terrible ideas and the third guy offers like the good idea and they throw him out the window. That's you. So the thing about EQ emulator is that the servers are passion projects, which means the people there want to be there. The bad thing is sometimes like their skill or their vision just isn't, you know, what interests a lot of people. But every now and then you find the server that is the perfect mix, where it's like what you want as a player, the person doing the dev work is talented, and because they want to be doing it, it comes out great because it's a passion project. Having the passion for the product you're producing, I think is super integral to creating something that people are going to enjoy. Like you can feel the passion that was put into classic EverQuest when you play it. I didn't play SOD, but I've always kind of been interested in it. The thing is, like, the server's been out for so long now. I really enjoy fresh servers. I like to start on the ground floor. Maze, I played on one of your servers, right? A long time ago? Like a long time ago? Was that the one where there was like some casino kind of stuff that you could do too on the side? KP? Charm, I'm probably gonna take Guck to 50, yeah. Yeah, Maze, I remember. It was a different kind of Zaide on that server. I still have the memes I made about some of those guys on my Imgur. Dude, I remember KPMU being super cool because like you had that website that would show the server population, and over time as we played it, we got to watch that just go up and up and up. And I was like, there's a point where we had like 150 people online, which for a server that's not P99 was really incredible. And there was a boxing limit on that server too, so it was like mostly real people. That's what I'm talking about, Dread Pirate. There was a time when I thought that this would be like non-viable, like I would never be able to get an assassin mask. But it turns out it's not even that difficult to get as a pally. I mean, shoot, we gave away 2 masks yesterday. Probably rogues. Probably have the single hardest hits with backstab. Monk flying kick damage can be pretty wild too, but I don't think it's going to beat a backstab. If we're just looking at for single hit white text damage, not from a spell, I'd say backstab. Dude, Liak, I am 110% confident I would smoke the AC in South Row, because I crushed Sand Giants. Like I'm talking, I didn't use LOH, I still had 70% mana when he died. And they're 5 levels higher than the AC. The hard part is going to be not getting KS'd. Yeah, so any of those camps like that, like Ghoulbane, you just have to... It's just a weird situation because people will just straight up come eat your lunch. Like you're like, yeah, I've been at this camp for 6 hours, and someone shows up and they're like, well, sorry dude, I'm going to DPS race you, I'm 20 levels higher than you. Berserkers are super good. DPS is great. Yeah, I've never really heard any complaints about Berserkers. Well, not in like the last couple years. Microphone filters on OBS. I think I do have a filter on mine. I had a filter to like try to reduce the background noise that my mic picks up. It's just so hard to make those kind of servers anymore, Maze, because Daybreak is pumping them out like every 9 to 12 months. You know, it used to be you could get a good classic emulated server in the lull between TLPs, but now there's like barely a lull. Kind of an awkward movement there. Nico, are you able to hear my fans in the background when I key up push to talk, or are you just going off like you can tell that I'm using push to talk? I'm okay at EQ, but I'm really bad at streaming. So any kind of advice and stuff like that is always helpful. So after you said that, I just literally added that filter. It's weird. It looks almost like the default microphone was using my webcam instead of my normal microphone. So yeah, I bet you that that's what it was. It's because it was trying to use my webcam, which is like positioned on the back of my computer. I don't know why it swapped to that. I wonder how long ago that happened. Well, glad we got that fixed. Yeah, I had no idea. You know, it must have been when I plugged in the webcam, it must have swapped it to like the default mic because the webcam is like a microphone and video. I'll remove PTT in a sec after this mob and we'll see. Okay, so now push to talk is off. Let me know if you guys still hear that background noise. Oh, you know what? You're probably going to hear my super loud keyboard. Well, that's good. Yeah, I have a really crazy loud keyboard. Ooh, we got the bind wound skill up there, 205. See how much HP we get now. We're at 1060. We'll probably get a regen tick there, 1065. So 1070. Now we're gonna get the bind wound tick. 82 HP. Leok, I haven't done any more ruby turn-ins, but I do have 3 rubies on me ready to go if we could find Linuga up. So Knots, the bind wound skill is usually 1 HP per 4 skill ups, but after 201, it becomes 1 HP per 1.5 skill ups. Or something like that. I'm doing it wrong, but it's somewhere in that range. It becomes 1 HP per 2.5 points of bind wound for a max of 84 HP per bandage at 210. Yeah, so right now we're doing 82. But yeah, I didn't have the webcam on today. Still feeling like a little bit under the weather, so. Dude, I don't know how viable this run would be long term if I had never begun using bind wound. I'm glad that you guys, talked me into it. Really glad I soothed this Shingul Knight here. Yeah, so the other downside to not having PTT is that you can hear the dogs. Oh man, did I soothe myself? What an idiot. That explains why we got the ad. Not that it mattered. Yeah, it's good, man, but be prepared for a long grind on bind wound. I basically found an NPC near a zone line that could beat me up, and I would let him knock me down to like 20% HP, and then I would zone and bind myself up. Yeah, it is. It is a very awkward time to get sick. Yeah, lava would be ideal. Oh, level 9's not too late to start. I didn't start until like the mid 20s. So now it's probably like perfect. Are you doing an SSF pally, or are you just doing like a kind of normal playthrough? Dang, Hash, you had it? That's crazy. Well, I'm glad to hear that you recovered. Thanks, Legion. Very much appreciated, dude. Yeah, man, I'm kind of jealous of P99 being able to trade the Ghoulbane, but at the same time, if it was tradable here, I never would have been able to get it. It'd be permacamped. Yeah, no, it's Paladin is better than I expected. Like, you always hear about how bad Pallies are, but this hasn't been bad at all. I've exceeded my own expectations for what I thought we would be able to do. That's for sure. I would like to kill this wizard, but with the bats there, it's basically not an option. I'll settle for just not having aggroed the bats. That's crazy, hash pipe. I've always thought Ranger was a cool, flavorful class. Like, there's some classes that just have more flavor to them than others. And like Ranger, Pally, Shadow Knight are kind of in that realm. All right, Leok, we're gonna do your skeletons here. As long as we don't fail Soothe. Now, none wear off and we're good. Solo. I just have to spend half my mana bar soothing them. This is my tier 2 and the lull line. My next one reduces it all the way to 5. Thanks, Kettle One. Okay, now we got 3. It's pretty bad. All right, and we should survive. Back to Dubious just in time. I definitely think the rooting was the way to go. I think if we had just charged through, we would have died. Would have aggroed the bats, aggroed that wizard. He would have potentially landed a root, and if they didn't land a root, they would have had a good chance of catching me in the water. I had to like mentally calm myself though, because your first instinct is just to sprint. Yeah. Yeah, at first I was like, I gotta run. And then I was like, fuck, the bats are gonna get me. The wizard's gonna get me. So now we have 1 hour and 9 minutes. Yeah, J-Boots would be nice. Feels good not having to deal with these live side frogs every time we walk through now. Need to get some music going here. Alright, so we're back in the same pick zone that we started in here. This looks good. Assuming there's not someone like sitting up here in Viz, we might be able to just kind of move into this supplier camp. Of course, I don't even know that we can kill a supplier without lay on hands and with no mallet. We'll see. It's questionable. Nah, Trump, I didn't have to use any mallet or LOH on the Giants. I would just, we were outdoors, so I would root them back up and toss myself a heal or bandage and med a little bit. But I usually finished every fight with about 70% of my mana. So basically, we used 2 of them on supplier, and then we had a 3rd supplier spawn, and we tried to hit him, but he resisted the first 2 clicks, so he took 3 of my charges. Someone grabbed this one right here. That's actually pretty good. We didn't want to deal with that. I think if I can get the supplier solo, totally solo, no ads at all, I could kill him without LOH. Like, I can just root him, back up, do my thing, get back in there. I could maybe root and nuke him. If anyone ever does to you guys what I'm doing right now, just know that you can duck through players. You gotta keep yourself ducked and keep walking up. You should be able to duck and walk right through me. Almost there. You got this. Push to the left. Cushion yourself like between the wall and the ladder. There you go. Look, you made it. I don't know what time, what kind of spawn timer we're operating under up here right now, so just be careful. I mean, I guess nothing up here is like really a threat to you. Wasn't he a high elf? I thought he was a high elf. He could also be just, because he's an enchanter, he could just be using his hard cast illusion. You're probably going to have to work this out with a level 50 necromancer who just came up. Most likely Jasper. That's just how it rolls. There's nothing you can do about it. Looks like a real necro, like this is a person's honest main. Very well geared. Yep, it's not like that no more. I don't know what this person is after. Like if they're after the mask. It's kind of a funny situation because they could just be like, hey, do you want the mask? And I would be like, no, you could have it. But we don't really communicate like that anymore in EQ. People just assume the worst. Kind of like, I mean, I'm assuming that this person is going to DPS race, so I'm in the same boat. There really isn't the same need to communicate with other players like there used to be back in the day. That's true. TBBs are nice. Well, to be fair, I didn't try to talk to them either. We watched them walk up the ladder, Gypsy. Right, yeah, there wouldn't be much reason to be invis. I mean, this camp was clear when I came to it. It's possible that this person was camping it beforehand anyway. We know what's up. If you guys hear that audio trigger, it's like very subtle. Sounds like someone's like snapping into a Slim Jim. That's my Ghoulbane proc audio trigger. Yeah, the Necro is gilded. I think it's a real Necro. It's not like a bot or someone who just like farms items. Oh, there's another mob up there now. I'll let that break, then I'll kill it if no one else kills it. I need to met up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. We want like a good 4 or 5 minutes between these if we can get it. Honestly, it's kind of weird that the Necromancer here isn't killing this. Like, these are PHs. So if she was really here to like camp items, you'd think she would like kill this quickly as possible. Yes, BMC, I am binding wound while sitting. It's very nice. Get that meditation tick. Yeah, that's a live thing. It'll never hit P99. P99 has other advantages with bind wound though. In P99 you can bind wound during combat, which you can't do on live. So this one right here is the assassin PH. Don't really care about that. Nah, hit doesn't interrupt it on P99. If you're a melee, you should have a bind wound macro going whenever you're in combat. Feels like our Dismiss Undead is proccing just about every fight. Okay, so we're gonna have a little over 4 minutes spaced out on this guy from the first one. My dex is only 83, not good. Yeah, Jasper, people could do that if they want to be jerks. The other crazy thing is Bind Wound doesn't break Invis. I think I had 2 during that fight. So we have almost 5 minutes between. But someone killed the other one. It might still work, Mr. Jones, but man, it would be a expensive endeavor to slow myself. Ah, good. So the 2 that we just had, the one I fought and the one she killed, will respawn 2 seconds apart. Wonder what's up with the cleric. So she wants the mask and the bag, both items we have. We only want the belt. I hope the Necromancer picked up that bag and not one of the other two people. Dude, wasn't. I literally cannot accept a trade from you if you pick that up. You need to drop it back on the ground for Addison. All right, so I have given them the bag, which should mean I get a solo shot at Supplier. This may backfire if this person kills it anyway. Yeah, minion TD is not till Kunark. I think Supplier is the first spawn up here, so we'll have a good 4 to 5 minutes to kill him before we get any ads. That might be the way to play it. Yeah, she's trying to get 2 more for her other characters. It's just a pain to explain to people that, like, if they kill this mob and try to leave a thick banded belt on the ground for me, I cannot loot it. Should be about 20 to 22 minutes, depending on how many people are in the zone. We're at 19, so I'm expecting it to be 20 minutes. We killed the supplier pH at 2749. So we should only have about 4.5 minutes left. Three minutes now. It could be up to 5 minutes if it goes to like the 22. All right, should be like 1 minute. We do have an ad downstairs, so we have to fight it up here. Which race has the best looking plate armor? Trolls. Trolls in that full plate looks so good. I'm trying to think of what like Ixar plate looks like, since they technically weren't supposed to have like plate available to them in Kunark. Half elves look good. Don't they have like bell bottom pants though? All right, we should have a spawn here pretty much any moment now. I'm gonna go ahead and break IVU and put Reckless Strength on. I need to like pull him to this corner in case I need to root and back away and stay up here. Oh, it's the boots that give that graphic? Okay, it's been 23 minutes now. This mob is like overdue. Oh yeah, Erudite's do look good. Basically all the Erudite armor looks pretty nice. We're at 24 minutes now. Yeah, I'm glad I reached out. I honestly have no idea what's going on with the spawn time now. We killed it at 27 and change. So we're over 25 minutes. $28 to $30 Pope. Maybe that's why. If it's 28, then we still have 2 more minutes. 1 minute and change now. pH. I'm gonna lose to the pet. Yeah, so that was about 28 minutes exactly. I think that was the supplier pH. And the next one is just always a pH. No, wait, the next one is the next one the assassin? Yeah, you're right. The 2 mobs at the same time next. So it's the assassin and the other one. We'll heal up and then we will kill this guy over here. I don't use the in-game timer. Just kind of use my own little stopwatch system over here. I don't know where that thing was going, but it was moving fast. Oh, that's not good. They're on Zimri. Yeah, dude, I do not want any part of that. I think this is a wipe, right? It's not like a AE pool. Yeah, people are going down. Man, if I had engaged that mob in the corner, we'd be so dead right now. Addison doesn't have IVU on. One of these mobs is gonna aggro her, and then I can jump on the... There's the assassin. That's the one she wants. It's got the dagger, though. I can kill the Wand Ghoul Knight here. I guess he spawned with a fine steel dagger. Kind of in a perfect spot now. So it's going to go supplier, assassin with a 5-minute gap, and then however long we can keep this guy from being killed. The assassin died right at 12 on the dot-ish. So we have a 2.5 minute gap now, but we can push it further. Yeah, I'm keeping the spawn split. Trying to get about 5 full minutes on this. Then we can sit up here. We don't have to worry about pulling them downstairs and fighting them there with pathing ads and stuff. It'll be as safe as possible. So I think this 1155, that was the supplier PH. So we should see 1223 will be our next supplier, or PH. We've only got 4 minutes and change on the assassin supplier spawn though. There we go. We got a nice 6 minutes spawn time gap there. I need to kill 70 more ghouls before I can walk around live side with my Dark Elf mask clicked. Hey, Blinding Rainy Q, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Much appreciated. Sorry that today's stream is a little bit on the more boring side while we try to get this camp broken and get a TBB. Oh, it's Big Addison here. Have a good one, Addison. I will call you back if we get another bag. Yeah, Gypsy, the dagger from the Spectres and the Aqueducts is like one of the best daggers you can get in Classic for a rogue before the planar stuff comes out. Super good. Nito Burrito Pob, thank you for the follow. But the dagger from the Assassin is like, you know what, I guess it is pretty rare. He drops the mask as is common. The dagger from the Specs is super rare. Like, man, I've camped them for many, many hours and gotten like 1 or 2. What's up, Sean? How's it going, dude? Thank you for coming back for that second month. So we're just here in Lower Guck trying to kill a ghoul supplier. We have 13 minutes on our lay on hands, and he will be up in 13 minutes. So actually, we might have a pretty good shot of surviving this. Robot, you didn't stream yesterday, did you? I was watching, I didn't see you online. I feel you. BMC, you did not miss a whole lot. We're just rebuffing. We have 12 minutes until spawn. And we also have 12 minutes and 49 seconds until lay on hands comes back up. So as long as we can survive for 1 minute of combat without LOH, we'll be good to beat the supplier. Okay, so Chinchilla, nice to see you again. Retlon Brenclog. So the deal with him is he's there as an actual slave to the Crushbone Orcs. He's actually just transporting a spellbook between Freeport and Akanon. His brother is one of the guys in the Casters Guild in Akanon. And if you do a series of quests, he'll actually give you a quest to go to East Freeport and get a spell book from his brother and bring it back to Akanon. When you get to Freeport, you find out that Retlon already left, but was captured on his way back to Akanon by the Crushbone Orcs. So, you know, you go to Crushbone. If you're able to get him his key, he says, like, basically, screw you. I was captured by orcs. I don't want to give you anything, and I don't care about a book anymore. I'm just trying to live. But he does tell you that the orc prophets took the book off of him. So then you kill the orc prophet and get the book and give it to his brother. Now, because you can like look it up, most people would just probably skip that and just kill the orc prophet and turn the book in. But that's like the original quest line of how to get it. As to why he doesn't just use his super powerful mage pet to free himself, like, who knows? It's probably like a video gameism. That's a pretty quick turnaround time on a video card, Robot. Do you have to go out in person and buy one? Dude, I found out today, maybe like an hour ago, some of you guys were here for that, but Sean, I found out today that I was accidentally using the microphone on my webcam instead of the microphone that sits in front of my face. And apparently it was causing a big drop in quality for no reason. Was it always messed up? I mean, I feel like a couple weeks ago at least, it should have been like this, because I didn't even have the webcam plugged in for a while. But I know I was listening to some playback from the 1 through 50 stream, and I was like, man, it sounds like I'm in like a cave or something. Like my voice was just kind of echoing. Yeah, that's probably what it was then, Rex, because that's when I started using the webcam. See, now I gotta redo the 1 through 50, dude, so that my audio's not messed up. Chinchilla, if you're looking for that quest, by the way, if you want to read more about the details, I think it's called Turgon's Spellbook, Tergon. Ah, I see. Are you guys locked down very much over there, or is it pretty open right now? Super Suit Guy, the 1 through 50 was really good, man. We had a lot of fun. Entertainment, the Sands of Ro are for the Silent Watch Shield quest. They only drop from Sand Giants. I've killed 3 Sand Giants today, but none of them dropped anything, unfortunately. Other than piles of platinum. Yeah, Super Suit. It took us 23 hours and 48 minutes for our first person to hit level 50. And then over the next hour, the rest of the group trickled in. I think we had a really good time, personally. And I do have the... So I think, you know, everyone's got their VODs for everyone who streamed it, so you can check all of those out. I watched a lot of Robots. His was really fun. Bobby Bix was fun to watch. Keebs was good as well. So feel free to check those out. My full 25-hour stream is on YouTube now, so you can check those out as well. Tonight or tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a recap, just a voice thing where I go over, you know, like what we did broadly, what our techniques were, and kind of how, you know, just a discussion basically on how you could speed level as quickly as possible in that kind of similar scenario. so that people can kind of get the gist of it without having to watch 25 hours of content. If they want to know, hey, how do I get to 50 as quickly as I possibly can when a new server comes out, you know, that'll be the video to watch. I'll put that on YouTube. Supersuit, I happen to be the first person to hit 50. Just luck, though. Alum, I've never done the Soulfire quest. Once we get this character 50, maybe we'll do it, and we'll get to find out together. Yeah, our group was 1 enchanter, 1 cleric, 4 mages, and our route was Nectilus, Lava Storm, Soleil, Sol B, and then Ocean of Tears. We did go to the hole a little bit because Ifriti was camped in every single pick. But we only did that for a couple levels, and we found that we had to leave because it was kind of like suboptimal. Hey, Supersuit, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you very much for supporting the stream. Very much appreciated. See, they say I killed people, but it just happens that, you know, when you're the pooler, it's in your hands. You know what I mean? So sometimes 6 mobs came, and I knew they were coming, so I had the opportunity to gate before other people did. I just consider it good fortune. All right, we should have 1 minute on spawn here. This guy's cleared. That's good. I could actually pull him down now, which is a little bit safer for me. Pied was winning for a long time. He was in the lead for a while. Come on, supplier. Oh, that's super lame. This is the Pather. Well, at least we're getting him out of the way now than during the fight. Now I'm in a bad spot where I need to get this possible supplier PH pulled down before the assassin spawns. Okay, it doesn't matter. May as well IVU just to be safe. This belt is rarer than I would have expected. I think I've killed 5 subs. No, it's got to be more. Because the first night we did this, I killed 2 suppliers. And then I killed 4 yesterday. So 6 supplier kills. I need to tag this guy up pretty soon. Well, I've got 2 more minutes. This will be good. We can gap the assassin now, and then we just don't have to worry about anything. All right, here we go. Pally's definitely a lot of fun. Robot, you got to give yourself a SSF shot. See if you like it. Now that you did the 1 through 50 marathon, you're officially hardcore. Alright, so we should have the assassin spawning in like 1 minute here. There he is. Are you doing on the, are you in like the tutorial zone, Leok? Yeah, normal SSF would still be a lot of fun, I think. There was already one person doing SSF at the time that I started this, and I just felt like I had to spice it up a little bit more. That's actually pretty crazy, Leok. Level 34, this should be easy. So this should respawn at, the supplier should respawn at 55 after. Yeah, it could definitely happen. We've been contested at this camp a few times. We've never lost a supplier though. I'm very proactive about trying to work it out with people who arrive. Also, I sit on this ladder, so it stops like the bottom 50% of plebs who don't know that you can just duck through people. Yeah, Ghoulbane is more. It's like a tier above. It's actually a spell I don't think I ever get. Nice. That's basically what Maze did when I was camping my Ghoulbane. Some guy showed up to. So first, my first Ghoulbane spawn got KS'd by a monk who then tried to give me the Ghoulbane, and I was like, dude, I wish you hadn't killed it because I literally can't loot it now that you killed it. And he didn't understand. So that like rotted. Then another one spawned, just had a bracer, but there was some Shadow Knight, level 50 Shadow Knight, who came to camp it too, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to DPS race. So Maze came over and was like, hey, you guys could DPS race, but as soon as you do, I'm going to E-bolt this thing, and nobody's going to get any loot except for me. So all the people who wanted to DPS race for Ghoulbanes basically bailed out. And then I got a solo attempt on him and got him. Dismiss Undead is my level 46 one. That's disgusting. It's not even 60 additional points of damage. I need like at least a 200 damage Undead nuke. Oh, okay. So yeah, when I get it, I'll be doing like max damage because of my level though, right? Yeah, Ghoulbane only does the minimum damage. Okay, so that's better. I feel better about it now. $200 damage nukes we can work with. We can make that go to 50. Yeah, go eat Harm Touch. I'm gonna be soloing like Hamlord trash mobs in the hand room from 46 to 50. So this is gonna have a 6-minute gap between assassin and supplier. That's good. I'll have to space out the third one a little bit more again. That really sucks. $36. Root's probably not going to hold the whole time on this guy. It's going to be a pain. Yeah, Shaman would crush SSF. They'd be really good. Hormasa, yeah, so solo self-found. There's a little blurb in the chat there. I don't trade with players. I'm permadeath active. And all my gear comes from stuff that I soloed myself, I quested myself, or I crafted myself. I don't take ports. I don't take buffs. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't bandaging. I wasn't paying attention. Dude, right? Get that troll shaman with sit and bind wound. Dude, I got 6% off that bandage. So the last one died at 34. We're definitely going to want to keep this guy up until like maybe like 40 after. 3 more minutes would be nice and safe. Hey, Leok, can you confirm whether or not the Ancient Cyclops is flagged as rare? I've heard that he is not. He is flagged as rare? Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was camping him earlier. Bonus is going until basically midnight tonight. 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's a big person who just arrived here. He's got an FBSS. He probably doesn't want a belt. He probably wants a mask. Yeah, I kind of want to just focus on this camp so I can get some EXP. Like, I'd really like to hit 40 tonight during the bonus. Don't have time to explain the. I need to make like a hotkey that explains everything. I just mean like to explain it to people in game. Dude, when I was doing the bind wound skill ups, there was this druid who kept running up to me and healing me, and I was like, please, please stop healing me. Yeah, that's why I was saying I need to make a hotkey. That grief heal. I keep not noticing that the music is running out. All right, so our next spawn is in 12 minutes. So what's everyone in chat think of the ability to switch for free to Rizlona? Any of you guys thinking about making the swap? Note that the character needs to be level 20 or above, and your account and character must be at least 30 days old. All those big no's. Everyone's like, I just hope that like 200 people leave Aradune. I'm not gonna leave though. Yeah, I think it's good that they're adding the option. Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. No reason to, take offense to anything. I wonder if we'll see like a full guild go over though. it wouldn't. You know, we have like 3 so-called hardcore guilds here, though. I am under the impression that one guild is really doing what you associate with hardcore guilds, like getting all the open world stuff. So it would be interesting to see if maybe one of the other 2 hardcore guilds decides to make the switch over to Rizlona, so that they can monopolize more of the open world content without as many issues. Nine minutes. Let's do this. I'm ready for this supplier to arrive with my belt on. Free me from this camp. Darkpaw Games. Free me. The 3 guilds are EQ Baby, which dominates the majority of open world content and I would imagine will not leave. Rampage World Tour, which is a European guild that does open world content when they can and might be well positioned to move. And the 3rd guild, I believe, is Toxic Few. Originally, there was going to be like some Praedom or some weird name, but that guild fell apart because their guild leader, went missing in action on like day 2 or 3 of the server. Toxic Few is still around, but they absorbed all the people who were kind of like shipwrecked with the original Praedom guild since the guild leader went MIA. Right, yeah, just park 1 at each raid mob and never move it. If it's specifically a raid mob purpose character too, you can even keep it with the appropriate buffs. I'm not sure, Gypsy Prince. I haven't messed with any of the auction stuff since I don't really buy things. But did you guys see that Ghoul, or not the Ghoulbane, the Null Slayer nerf? Unacceptable. Dude, this is like the slowest 6 minutes of my life right now. We're doing the spawn dance, guys. This is what you do when you need something to spawn really badly. Yeah, they removed the Bane damage, making the quest, the sword, and Potentially the only zone you would ever use it in, all useless in one single patch. Now you can get your Ghoulbane, or not your Ghoulbane, jeez, I keep saying that. You can get your Null Slayer version 2, the good one, in Planes of Power when it's super bad. I don't know what the reasoning was. I mean, presumably it's because it's more classic. Originally, the Null Slayer launched without Bane damage. And the devs literally didn't know it until someone pointed it out on the forums, because P99 has it right. So then they changed it to be correct. But here's the thing, like, it's still not a great sword, even when it's got the Bane damage. You can't get it till you're like level 20 unless you twink, because you have to kill a level 23 mob to get it, Shadow Knight. And then the only place that's level appropriate for you to use it, there's only one zone in the game where you would actually use that weapon if you got it untwinked, and that's Paw, which has an average of like 3 people in it any given time. So you just like, you nerfed one of the reasons to utilize one of the most underused zones in the game, and took out a viable side grade weapon in an already hyper optimized gear treadmill. And I just don't buy the change for classic purposes, because there are so many things they add which are specifically not classic, like extended target, origin, innate AAs. Like, there's just no direction, man. It feels like every dev basically has their own kind of agenda when it comes to TLP, and like whatever fits their fancy they'll do, and they're not all in sync. Yeah, Paw's awesome after they revamp it and it doesn't have nulls anymore. What's going on, Yams? It's going alright, man. No one's messing with us. We got the camp split perfectly, immaculately split camp. And who knows, in 3 minutes, we might get the supplier with the belt. Who knows? What I will tell you guys, though, is that this is going to be my last supplier attempt for the stream, so get it or not, we'll be wrapping up after that. Yeah, dude, Paw is actually super challenging to level in. It's got a terrible Zem. The loot is not great. And, yeah, now there's no Nullbane to take there. Well done. Tons of clerics. Healing all over the place. They never run out of mana, it seems. Terrible Zem, 20%. Dude, it's like lower than Blackbro and Crushbone, lower than Lower Guck, lower than Soul A, Soul B. Is it actually the lowest dungeon on there? Or is it only low? The only thing it's higher than is Unrest, or Mistmore, right? No, I never did. But yeah, I would be down to do it sometime. It's good information to have. Even things like, is it faster to have an AFK 6th person or just be 5? Yeah, Mistmore Zem is terrible. And those are like 2 of the most dangerous dungeons in the game. Yams, thank you so much, dude. Very much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the stream, dude. Jasper, I don't know what you mean by the newer zones, like the live zones. All right, we got our spawn coming up here soon. We'll get our reckless strength going. That Zem list is everything for Classic on Aerodune, except for the hole in CT. Oh no, I didn't mess with anything after Classic, basically. Sad. I've only ever seen 2 pick zones of Mistmore, so it wasn't super populated when I went over there. I mean, the loot is really good in Mistmore. But the loot in Lower Guck and Soul B is incredible too. And they also have amazing Zems. People almost like don't even bother camping weapons that aren't yaks anymore. Like, you get a yak or a myth 2-hander, that's basically all you need. What's going on, LOL? What, bro? Oh, no, long time no see, dude. How you been? Nice. I too am on Aerodune. Oof, that's crazy, Kettle One. So fast. I'm very jealous. How's your gear? A ghoul ritualist begins to cast major shielding. I'm gonna stay for the very next spawn in the off chance that well, this one is gonna be the assassin. We know that. I'll stay for like a couple more minutes in the off chance that we were wrong and this is the supplier spawn and this one is not. My guy is keeping Yelp up. Oh no, he's casting Sense the Dead. Ender, I guess I could. I wouldn't do it though. But I could kite Sir Lucan around because he doesn't summon. Lower Guck lore bomb. Yams. Yeah, we could do some Lower Guck lore. So I've actually been working on this. I've been reading a lot more about Lower Guck and Guck lore in general. There are two referenced competing theories for like Lower Guck lore, and I'll talk about both of them. Okay, so first off, things that we know. The Froglocks came from across the sea, presumably Kunark. They arrived on the shores of Inithul Swamp, and they located the trolls in Guck. Guck used to be a trollish city. They fought the trolls there, and eventually, led by Hoptor Thagalum, they defeated the trolls and ousted them from Guck, at which point the Froglocks took over Guck as their own city. Okay, so this guy got a PH. Reports are conflicted. Some say that it was an anonymous troll shaman. Other people say it was the warlord Yakesha. One of these two things went into Guck, into the very depths of Guck, and got in a great battle with many of the Froglocks. As he was bleeding and nearing death, he called on Inaruk to curse them. And he drew the souls of all of the Froglocks near him, hundreds of them by some reports, into Inaruk's cauldron, which cursed them. They call this curse now the Curse of Yakesha, and it made the undead ghouls that we see today. The ghouls don't stay dead when you kill them. You have to burn the bodies for them to stay dead. They are sentient and intelligent, and they have some malevolent purpose. The worst part of all of this is that the ghoul that we know to be the Ghoul Lord is none other than the hero of the Froglock people, Haptor Thagalum, reborn as an undead ghoul, now leading a legion of ghouls to eventually break free from Lower Guck, take over the Froglocks, and eventually perhaps take over all of Norath. So that's Lower Guck lore in a nutshell. And that's why the Ghoul Lord wields the short sword of Yakesha, because it was supposedly Yakesha who broke in and did all that. Yakesha, by the way, separate lore note, is supposedly the legendary trollish hero who would unite the trollish tribes, as foretold in the prophecy that was etched into the Grosmok stone. You just missed a little bit, Acno. The other bit of lore, though, which is referenced in the Everquest Monsters Manual under the Froglock Ghoul section, suggests that there was a Illis Knight of the Froglocks, and he was experimenting with dark magic when he inadvertently opened up a portal to the plane of disease, where Bertoxilus let loose some amount of magic and some of his creatures to turn the Froglocks undead. And there is a rumor even that there is some great avatar of disease which is secretly controlling these Froglocks and directing them, though people believed for so long that it was simply the Ghoul Lord. So those are two different theories. There's a lot more evidence for the Yakesha theory, including pretty much all the Eldon lore, the fact that we see Warlord Yakesha later in the cycle of the game, and it's referenced in EQ1, EQ2 as well. But there are like conflicting sources. Even in the game, there's conflicting sources, because we saw Warlord Yakesha lead the efforts to retake Grob when the Froglocks took Grob way back in like 2004. Right, so why do the evil Gucktons worship Annie? If you remember, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that when Froglocks first came out as a playable race, they could not play as necromancers, right? It was only once they were kicked out of out of Grob and pushed into the Wrath Mountains, that Necromancer became a playable class for them. And part of this was like they had reached a point where in order to defeat their foes, they were willing to stoop to that level of using dark magic. Obviously, they can't worship Nathaniel Mar if they're going to be necromancers, so they turn to like the next god on the list, I suppose. But yeah, the Yakesha Cauldron of Hate theory, or Cauldron of Inruk theory, is all referenced both in game, in the Eldon expansion, and in some classic. And it's also referenced in the Maps of Myrist. And it's further referenced in the EQ RPG guides. So it's very heavily supported with evidence both in and out of the game. Cryptos4, thank you for the follow. Legacy of Yakesha. Or no, maybe it's Eldon. One of those two. One of the expansions that came out basically during the Planes of Power era. Even just the fact that you're able to play the Froglocks starting in the expansion Legacy of Yakesha supports the theory that Warlord Yakesha was a critical part of the lore and development of the Froglocks and Antonica. You know what I mean? Hey, Tinaran, thank you so much. You have a good one. All right, guys, so this is going to be our last mob for the day. After this, we're going to go back up to the entrance. I'm going to camp out. I got some stuff I have to take care of. I'll be back on later, but I probably won't stream it. I had a great time today. I know yesterday's stream was like, 5.5 hours, a little bit longer than this, but I still had a good time. Unfortunately, we did not get our belt yet. We'll keep working on it. But if you enjoyed this stream and you haven't already followed, please go ahead and hit me with that follow. Keep coming back. I love being able to have these like lore discussions and have you guys here when we're on the edge of our seats, trying not to die in the depths of Lower Guck. Pandemonic, thank you so much for the follow. All right, let's see who we could raid. Oh, okay, Sean's on. We're gonna raid a very loving robot. And here we go.
The day before yesterday, when I was streaming, I don't know if you remember, if you were in here, but, oh, what's up, Zaide? Are you done for the evening? It sounds like you were going to camp a little bit more. TPK the Amazing, thank you for the follow. Everybody that just came in, I'll restart the story of the adventures of my computer. If you see anything weird, just speak up. If I don't sound right, speak up. I had to